Welcome back, everybody. Today's just a pattern test. It's July 8th, just through the Independence Day weekend here on the opposite end of it, and we are officially halfway through the year, and we're about 60 to 90 days out for most people from early teal season and the very start of waterfowl hunting. So I figure it's a good time to pattern test my favorite loads. Today I'm going to be pattern testing a bunch of stuff, but what I want to get on camera is heavy steel. Now, heavy steel I used from the time I bought this Vinci all the way through the end of the season. Now and then I would use different steel types, like Remington Nitro Steel is my former favorite, and that's a close second now. But 1,500 feet per second out of 1.25 ounces with a 3-inch Magnum 12 gauge is nothing to stick your nose up at. That extra 1/8 of an ounce, I believe, does do it. If 1 3/8 could be pushed to 1450, I'd shoot that out of a 3-inch. But it can't really, at least not factory options, and pressures are not very safe with it. So today we're going to pattern test 3 different shot types, which I use: number 1s, number 2s, and BB. These are all steel. These are not heavy metal. These are heavy steel. I really like heavy steel for the price point. It's actually cheaper than nitro steel. It seems to be of just as good a quality or more, and if you wait for the right time of year, you can buy a case of it from anywhere from $115 to $145 on average. The highest I'll pay for it is about $18.99 for an emergency box. The lowest I've seen it go for is about $11.99 a box on sale, with, of course, using a gift certificate or some form of a coupon. But we're going to be using Heavy Shots choke tube, which is made by Carlson. There are 3 wad, I want to say, disrupting rings, light rings within these choke tubes that retard the wad a little bit. They're not like a Pattern Master. They don't have those nubs, but they do retard the wad a little bit. There is still constriction, so it's kind of like a hybrid. This one is, of course, a ported model, and the Benelli Cryo Plus models are a little bit shorter than you'll see with other brand choke tubes that these are made for. But it's an exceptional choke tube. This one is the extended range Heavy Shot Choke Cryo Plus Extreme Range. Well, excuse me, Extreme Range. It's a .696 constriction, so you've got about a modified, improved modified pattern. So, well, at least that's what it should do with lead, which it kind of does. It's my favorite choke to shoot with. I barely use my decoying choke, which is a .7 something, 716, I believe. But let's get right to it, and we'll give you a close-up of each shot, and here we go. First shot is going to be center on the 1 with 1.25 ounce heavy steel at 1,500 feet per second through the extreme range choke. And this is approximately 25 yards. I like to pattern test at 25 because it seems to give me the most accurate portrayal of what it will do up close and at far. So 25 yards. Here we go. All right, let's go mark that up, and we'll try the 2s. As you saw there, we had a nice 60-40 top below spread, roughly, as the Vinci likes to do. I pretty much put the center of the 1 behind the bead, and slap the trigger, and that's what I got. That's definitely a dead duck at 25. I'd say that's probably a dead duck or a dead goose out to 40. Number 1s do not give you the pattern density of number 2s or 3s steel, but they do a very effective job at it. So, speaking of 2s, we're going to do the same thing, the number 2. All of the number 1s are going to be X's, all the 2s are going to be slashes, and all the BBs will be circles. So let's go ahead and fire off a number 2. Well, I think some of those did not make it onto the pattern board, but I will go mark them up, and we'll see how we did. It looks like a pretty dense pattern, a little bit high. Try to do the same thing, but looks like it wants to pattern that shell a little bit higher than the bore. All right, we had a nice pattern with the number 2s, pretty dense, about equal in pellet separation from the number ones, a couple flyers. I think a number of them skipped over the pattern board, but definitely dead duck if the bead's on them. Definitely a load you can kill ducks out to about 35 or 40 yards with. Next load, and the final load for heavy steel, is going to be a load of BBs. Now, because it seems to want to pattern high, I'm going to put it at the bottom of the BB circle, the bead right at the bottom, and we'll see what happens. If I remember correctly, the BBs out of this choke and this gun pattern consistently tight, especially at close range. So let's see how it goes. Well, that looks like an exceptional pattern. Definitely a goose getting pattern. Definitely a duck getting pattern. So I would say, because heavy steel is offered in 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, and BB for 3-inch, if I do remember correctly. All in 1 1/4 ounce at 1500. It definitely puts a jump on. If you have a heavy gas gun, it'll be lighter. If you have a light inertia gun, it'll be a heavier recoil, significantly heavier on average than normal. But I mean, you can see right there, that is an exceptionally dead bird. I don't even have to go and mark that up. I'll try and see where all the BBs went, but exceptionally nice core. That core is right behind, maybe just touch above the bead. But when you're swinging through on a flying bird or a decoying bird, you know, just look at it and have that bead fuzzed out as you stare at that bird, and it's just going to be a dead bird every time. I don't think I'm going to actually really use my decoying choke unless for some reason I start using triple Bs, and then of course you go to the decoy choke and that will pattern it just as well typically as the BB. But that's a nice tight pattern. 1 1/4 ounce of BB and a 3-inch 12 gauge is a roughly 85 or 90 pellets to my understanding. Number ones is 116 or so. Number twos is around 127 or 130 of them. And of course number threes gives you right around that 140, 145 number. But really great patterning today. I'm going to play around with a few other loads, but I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, keep your powder dry and God bless.